Manchester City 1, Real Madrid 1. We lose 4-3 on penalties. Real Madrid are through to the semi-finals. Probably the hardest day after review that I'm going to have to make this season. Well, we don't know yet, but it's definitely going to be the hardest one that I've done so far. Because I don't really know what to say about the game, really. We dominated them, thrashed them about, and yet, as always in the Champions League, you play your best football, but ultimately Real Madrid will win the tournament. It's just how it is with Madrid. They're just magical in this tournament. It's just the Madrid way. Real Madrid do it every time. It's mental. It's just honestly, it's weird. It's a strange way how Real do it every single time. But yeah, it's going to be good going through the player ratings because honestly, the players they were phenomenal. Nobody put a foot wrong. Every single one did something. So let's get on with it, shall we? Erling Haaland, they gave him a 7.5 match rating. He had 5 shots, 1 on target. Probably, it was a bit of a tricky one, but he maybe should have scored the header early on in the first half to make it 1-1. But, ultimately, not the best game for him. I think he is struggling, though. It does seem like he's struggling a bit, like mentally and physically, because he's had his foot injury. And also, as well, it seems like he's just struggling mentally overall. So, I just hope City fans stick with him, because he is the best striker in the world, he really is. We need to just not lose trust in the lad. It's the worst possible thing we can do, because he is sensational. He just needs to find his feet again. And I know he will, because he's still young. He's 23. He's got his whole career ahead of him, and he's already a treble winner. So, I've got absolutely nothing wrong. I think he's a phenomenal guy. I think, it's just a shame, really, that he just couldn't get a goal tonight, because I feel like that would have boosted his confidence tenfold. But yeah, I'm not complaining about him. Good lad. I think, fair play. He struggled. He didn't struggle, but he had, if you look at some bits, he had Rudiger and Fernandes on him constantly, so tough game for him, tough game. But he did alright. Jack Grealish, done a bit dirty in my opinion. A 6.9 match rating, come on. I thought he was sensational. He had 2 great attempts on goal. His control was great. He did a load of dribbles. I thought he was just great. His overall play was brilliant. I've got nothing wrong to say about Jack. Yeah, they've put a 6.9, unfortunately, because he didn't do anything stat-worthy according to this. But his overall play was brilliant. Nothing to complain about him. He did well. Bernardo Silva, the penalty misses, he was great, as usual. He just great control, great on the ball, as usual against Madrid. But everyone's just going to talk his penalty that went down the middle and was saved. That's all that we spoke about, unfortunately, for Bernardo. But, I thought he was brilliant, though. I think, once again, he was great. Nothing to complain about Bernardo. He turned up against Madrid, as he always does. Just couldn't score the penalty, unfortunately. Which, it's harsh. To have a go at him, he went down the middle. How many times in football does the keeper just stand still in a penalty shootout and just stand there? If it goes in, he's praised. Remember Benzema a couple of years ago when he scored a penalty against us? He was a hero. Yet when it's saved, it's ridiculous. It's not really a big gamble. Keepers never stand still in fear of making a mug of themselves. And yet this was the one time that it was caught out. Apparently they were spoken about by Madrid, before the penalty shootout, that they said to Lunin, stand still for one of the penalties. So, of the 5, it was a 20% chance that it was going to be saved then. There was an 80% chance of him scoring. And unfortunately, we didn't win. It was a 1 in 5, and Madrid won it. But yeah, Bernardo, good game from him. Nothing to say. Kevin De Bruyne, a 32-year-old, and he absolutely put his life on the line once again. Scored a great equaliser, played phenomenally, and he couldn't carry on and he had to be subbed off in extra time. Which is a shame, because I reckon if he'd have stayed on, he could have scored the penalty that Kovacic missed. He really could have done. But no, he just looked dead. He's not in the same condition to be running around. I mean, he did 112 minutes at the age of 32 with his hamstring that's like barely hanging on at this rate. But I've got nothing wrong to say about him. He had, 6 shots, scored the equaliser. He put how many chances into the box that we just couldn't do anything from. But honestly, he was just brilliant. Kevin is just, he's incredible. But unfortunately, Phil, yeah, he was the only one who really just wasn't the best, you know. I mean, he scored his penalty at least. I'm happy he scored his penalty. He's a good lad, scored his penalty, but ultimately during the match just wasn't there. We felt like he wasn't really there in the game much. And I think we are at that point where it's a case of De Bruyne or Foden. I don't know if they can work together. I think this is evidence that we can't play De Bruyne and Foden at the same time. You know, we have to decide whether we play. And I think it is a case of we phase Kev out and Phil becomes the new De Bruyne. And I think that's what's going to happen. Rodri, 8.2 match rating. Incredible. But just incredible. What more can you say about him? Like, there were no complaints. So many passes. Played the 102. I wish he would have took a penalty. I know he missed in the Community Shield. But I reckon in a game like this, he'd have scored. But yeah, phenomenal play. Just, the midfield was brilliant. And he's just the heart of it. Nothing to say, really. Just 8.2, well deserved. Manuel Akanji, I wish, no offence to him, he did well, but I wish Stones would have started. I don't know why he didn't. Was he not fit? I don't think he was fit enough, I'm not sure. But I wish Stones had started. Because Akanji's just not the same playing in that midfield role. That centre-half to midfield role that Stones does, Akanji can do it in some cases, but not against Real Madrid. It should have been Stones. I'm sorry, Akanji. It should have been Stones. But yeah, he did all right, though, Akanji. I've got nothing to complain about. I mean, I say that, but I can't pinpoint any time where Akanji did anything wrong. He was phenomenal. I thought he was great. And I'm saying this about how Stones should have played, but maybe he shouldn't have done. I don't know. Because Akanji did great. There was nothing to criticise him for. Josko, again, he was brilliant in the defence. Don't really remember. I was going to say I don't remember many moments of him, but like I think it's just because they didn't do much in attack. But there was a few moments where obviously he was solid defensively, and I've got no complaints about him. I think he did great overall. Absolutely sensational. Ruben Diaz, again, great defending. He's just solid. One of the best performances from Ruben, if I'm honest, in recent history, but it won't be remembered because we've been knocked out. So yeah, deservedly so, getting a 7.2. Decent defence, didn't have to do too much considering they didn't really come at us with much. And then Kyle Walker, you could maybe blame him for their goal early on, but nah, I don't want to put the blame. He was phenomenal against Vinicius Jr. So I don't want to have a go at Kyle at all. Nobody deserves to be attacked. Everyone was phenomenal, really. The whole team was it was great. There is no complaints, we just couldn't finish. That was the problem. And speaking of people who can finish, though, Edison, great goalkeeping. Unlucky for the goal he conceded because he saved it and he just fell straight back to the guy. But then for the goalkeeper, when have we ever seen in a Champions League quarter-final knockout stage a goalkeeper steps up in front of multiple other forward players and takes a penalty and scores it? And it was a genius penalty. Absolutely incredible penalty. The placement and the power was perfect. I've never seen such a perfect penalty recently. It was just, yeah, Edison gets the flowers today because he saved one as well. He set us up to go and win that shootout. He saved a penalty and he scored one. What more can you do? That's all you need to do. That is all you should need to do in a penalty shootout. And yeah, we'll go to the subs because, you know, they had some like Doku. He came on the 72nd minute, and yeah, it was just a seamless transition. We took off Jack, we brought on Doku, and he was just as good. but just in his own way. I mean, he got... did he get the... No, he was the shot fell... it was, wasn't it his shot, I think, that rebounded to Kev for the equaliser? I think it was, I'm not too sure. I think it was. And I think Doku did well. Alvarez came on for extra time. And I thought Alvarez did well. He scored his penalty. And I thought it gave us a bit of fresh air for that half an hour not having Haaland. And we had a different bit of style of play. So, I think it was a bold move, but a good decision to take off Alvarez. And I think Haaland was just knackered, though. He did just look dead. And then Stones and Kovacic came on for the final 10 minutes, but didn't really do too much. Stones, I suppose, just saw out the last 10 minutes, and then Kovacic did the exact same and then missed a penalty. But ultimately, great performance all round. I don't want to go through the stats, but I'm going to. So here's the stats. Here's the stats for you. Jesus wept. 67% possession. An XG of 2.7 against 1.4. 33 shots to 8. 9 on target to 3. Hammered. Absolutely hammered them. But it just didn't go in the net. Which is all you need in football. You can have all this blue, but ultimately they're through. That's it. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. We should have hammered them. They barely came at us. They had a few good moments, but we really should have finished the job in normal time. We really should have done. Extra time was a farce, and the penalty shootout was just ridiculous. What was the order anyway? So it was Alvarez scored his. Edison then saved Modric's, where I thought, right, this is it now. We can win this now. We've scored, they've missed. We just need to score our 4 and that's it, we're through. And then Bernardo goes down the middle, fails. Bellingham scores his, the diving... Bellingham was not it. Everyone's going to praise Bellingham. He did nothing across 2 legs. They should be praising Rodrigo. Rodrigo and Vinicius were great, decent attackers. But Bellingham gets all the praise because he's English, and it's not fair. Praise some other players. They're running the keeper, the backup goalkeeper. He won't get anything. Rodrigo won't get anything. Vinicius won't. Decent attackers. No, Bellingham will. It's ridiculous. And then Kovacic missed his. Saved. Got saved. That was. And by that point, we'd missed 2. Bang bang. Then Vasquez scored. That was it. Suddenly they were in the hot seat and they went on to victory. Foden scored. Fernandes scored. Edison scored his, which was just incredible to witness. And then Rudiger scored his. But ultimately, shame. Should have gone through, but we didn't. It was always going to be like a fairy tale. It was always like last year's treble was just a thing of just complete, just unbelievable. Back-to-back trebles. It was always going to be. It was ridiculous anyway. To think we would do back-to-back trebles, to do an achievement that's only been done twice in history, and we do it 2 years concurrently. What is that? We're still on for a Premier League and we're still on for an FA Cup. That's doable. A domestic double is still on the cards. 4 Premier Leagues in a row is still on the cards. So we move on. Keep the heads high. I trust them lads. It was a great game. We've got nothing to be ashamed of, other than just we couldn't finish our chances. The system's great, the players are great. Keep the mentality high. That's it, that's all you need. And with that, I'll see you for the review after the Chelsea game on Sunday. Because I think we're going to batter Chelsea. People think our heads will be dropped from this, that we'll be struggling. No. Them lads are going to want to go for the kill. And we're going to hammer Chelsea, I believe. Because, considering what's just happened here, they're going to be like, right, that was ridiculous. We shouldn't have lost. We battered them. And so we're going to go against Chelsea on Saturday, and we are going to get into them. And I believe we can do so. So, I've got no fears for Saturday. Come on, City. We can do this. Domestic double is on the way.